Hello there guys, and welcome to a new Let's Play of Total Warhammer 3. Of course you will already be able to see what faction we are playing from the title and also the thumbnail. So without further ado, I might just as well get into it. We are of course playing as the vampire counts, and we are playing as Vlad Von Carstein. Just need a quick cough there. So the vampire counts is another faction that I have never actually managed to complete a campaign with, but the vampire counts, in this case the Von Carstein, is probably also with, if we are to include Manfred back in Total Warhammer 1 and Total Warhammer 2, due to his start position, because the Von Carsteins are actually starting in Sylvania, and Manfred used to start in a castle Drakenhof, which is also in Sylvania, but this region right next to them. So between these three, which is basically the same start in Warhammer 1, Warhammer 2, Manfred was moved in the beginning of, or the end of Total Warhammer 2, I actually don't remember, but he was moved down here to make room for Vlad Von Carstein and Isabella Von Carstein. But between these three, the vampire counts is the faction that I have started to play the most times out of all the other factions. I have never actually played Manfred in his new start position. I am going to at one point, but for now, as a sort of the opposite to our Karl Franz Let's Play, I thought it would be a good idea to show off some vampire action, especially seeing as though the vampires were eliminated very quickly from the Karl Franz Let's Play. One thing, however, I will mix up is that I usually always go for Isabella as my lord. The thing is, if you look at the map here, these two start in the same position, so you can only choose one of them as your lord to sort of be the faction leader. But say for now, because we are playing as Vlad Von Carstein, I choose Vlad here as our lord. We will actually get Isabella as a legendary hero to start along with Vlad, because these two are lovers in the lore. Vlad turned Isabella, and she has been ever so faithful to him ever since. So they also get, you can see here, they get bonuses. Where is it? They don't get, I'm pretty sure they used to get bonuses. Yeah, battle healing cap plus 20% when in an army with Isabella Von Carstein, and she gets the exact same thing. The reason why I usually go for her is because of all of her vampire buffs, but the rest of the unit that she buffs, Fellbats, Direwolves, she has a lot of skills in her skill tree that buffs Fellbats and Direwolves and all the beast units, and I don't usually go for them when playing the vampire counts. I tend to go more with skeletal grave guards, blood knights, things like that. So I thought at least shake it up a bit and actually play as Vlad, because he is, well, apart from Helm Gorst, which I have never played, I have played Heinrich Kemmler a few times, not a lot, but Vlad is actually the lord I have played the least out of, apart from Helm Gorst. Of all the vampire counts, these here are part of the Mixer Unlocker mod, so they are not part of the normal vampire, no, part of the normal Warhammer roster. You cannot usually play as them, and they are not a part of Radious either. So we will play as Vlad Von Carstein, and we will try to install him as, at least according to him, the rightful ruler of the empire. Vlad seeks to become an emperor. he is, well, he is of course a vampire, and therefore he is of course evil, but he's not just insanely murder hobo like the Chaos is. He actually wants to rule the Empire as a, of course he will be a cruel leader, seeing as though he's a vampire, but he wants to rule over the Empire as a true emperor among the other Elector counts. And he basically just views humans as a necessity, food. He doesn't go out of his way to, you know, just murder them for the sake of murder as other vampires and of course Chaos do. So we'll see if we can install him as the rightful emperor. There isn't actually an emperor mechanic for him. He doesn't have the electoral machinations or the diplomatic talks, the mechanic from Karl Franz, and he don't have imperial authority like Karl Franz do. But the vampire counts, and in particular the Von Carsteins, do have some special faction mechanic, as with almost all factions have. There are still a few who have at least very, very basic faction mechanics. So just a quick note on how Vlad Von Carstein they play. We'll get into that soon enough. I'll try and cover it as best as I can. We have a mission issued. Basically just check out this vampire army. I need to cough again. So we started war with Vladenhof. I think that's what the faction is called. Either way, it's another vampire faction. We have Castle von Tempelhof right here, and they also have this settlement here. So very quickly, as I said, I have started this campaign a lot of times throughout the lifespan of Total Warhammer 1, 2 and 3, so I'm pretty familiar with how to go about it, and that being said, watch me fuck it up completely now that it's on camera. So yeah, the vampire counts, they have their special mechanic, at least when you play as the Von Carsteins. They only have the blood kisses, which is the bloodlines. These are the 5, at least, major bloodlines of the vampire counts. You have the blood dragons, the Von Carsteins, the Lamian, the Nechak, and the Nestrigoi. And you can see here we have one blood kiss. There's a 3 here, and that is in order to awaken one of these bloodlines. Whenever you awaken one of these bloodlines, you get a bonus. So if I were to awaken a blood dragon, I would get this bonus. If I were to awaken 2 lords, I would get this bonus, and of course 3 lords, I would get this bonus. And this goes up by increments of 3, I believe it is. So the first one is 3, second one is 6, and of course the third one is 9. And whenever you awaken a bloodline, you also get a special lord in here that you can recruit. And that is basically the faction mechanic of the vampire counts. Manfred, who was down here somewhere, I think it's right around here he starts. He has a special faction mechanics where he is looking for the old book of, I forgot what his name was, but he's looking for some old necromancer tombs, wherein he wants to drown the world in darkness and blood and just turn everyone, I think, into vampires and be an immortal vampire. So yeah, the vampire counts. Castle Drakenhof, their ancient seat. They are technically not, a full sort of, they don't have anything to say in the Empire, but they are technically an elector count, which is also why Vlad wants to be a ruler of the Empire.
Vlad Von Carstein.
So we start with, and this is one of the reasons why the vampire counts can be such a powerhouse from the beginning. You start with a legendary lord, a legendary hero, and then just a generic vampire hero, and we actually start with a shadow, which is very happy. They usually, so I cannot show it off because we don't have the building, but vampires have, I believe, only access to shadow and death magic, and I'm not the biggest fan of death magic. I'm much more of a shadow. And then they have their special law of, I think it's just called law of vampire. We can go and check it. That was, it is here. Yeah, law of vampires. This is unique to vampire counts, but for some weird reason, their generic vampire heroes cannot have the law of vampire. They can only have either shadow or death magic. Again, shadow being very powerful and usually my go-to. Death is by any means not a bad magic, but I will get into it. I will be recruiting a death magic vampire once we can, and then I will explain it why when I can actually show it off. But Isabella also has access to the vampire law, and it is very, very powerful. This here, the Winds of Death, is, at least it used to be, one of, if not the most powerful wind magic spell. Very, very powerful. And of course they can raise dead, they can heal, they can do all kinds of crazy stuff with the vampire law. So basically having 3 magic casters from the beginning is just, it's basically insane how powerful they can become. So let's just go ahead and attach you two here. One of the first buildings. This is a unique building. Whenever you play as Von Carstein, you of course start with Castle Drakenhof and Schwarz, this settlement here. But whenever you start as them, you can build this building here. If you were to start as Manfred and then take Castle Drakenhof, you won't have access to this building. So I will definitely be building that building because it allows you to recruit vampires and have recruitment cost reduced a lot, and of course rank increase for vampires right from the get-go. Basically, 2 turns in. Whereas normally you would need to be at least have a tier 4 settlement and then build the vampire crypts before you can recruit vampire heroes, and they are very powerful. What else can we build? We can of course build a gold mine, which we definitely will do, and then let's get some more income going. In terms of technology, they have they are sort of, as most tech trees are, they are grouped into what kind of units they buff. So bestiary, of course, buffs all things to do with beasts. Fellbats, direwolves, varguls. These are vargeists. They also have a unit called varguls, which is this unit, vargulf, these ones. So this is everything to do with beast and buffing them. And of course this is a unit, what's it called, a zombie dragon, I believe, that's added from one of the landmark mods. Then they have sort of a general buffing of ghost units especially, and crypt ghouls, and this is skeletons and vampires. Not skeletons and vampires, sorry, skeletons and human levies. And then here is their sort of economic tech tree, and I like to go for this at the beginning and then get, so Blood Kiss, let's just see which one it is. I think, let's just, that would be a lot of turns. Let's just go for this to begin with. Let's go for Blood and Power to begin with. and just rush that down. So,
King of darkness.
that being covered, let's go ahead. I don't actually think... So, and their lord cannot choose from any magics either. They are locked into the magic that they have. So necromancers have access to the law of vampires, Strigoi ghoul kings have access to death magic, and vampire lords have access to, of course, vampire law. But let's go ahead and get the first battle out of the way. So I will just see you guys on the battlefield once it's done loading. And also another thing is the starting army of especially Vlad Von Carstein, along with Isabella, the legendary lord hero, and a normal vampire. He still starts with a very, very powerful army. So we will not go for trying to channel more magic. And another thing that Vlad Von Carstein does, again, I don't think he does it in vanilla, I'm not sure, but he basically allows your entire army to deploy in Vanguard, which is very, very good. So we will just move you guys out on the flank. For some weird reason I can put you up here, but you'll be too far away. So let's just place you here. The Blood Knights can go over here. These Cairn Wraiths, they have 60% physical resistance. They hardly have any armor, but they don't need it with 60% physical resistance. So let's just go ahead and start the battle. Send you in like this. You can go like this, you can go like this, you can go like that. Cairn Wraiths, go here, you can go here, you can go here. Actually, let's just tighten you in just a bit. You can go and kill these. And you can take out. No, let's just charge the zombies. They won't stand a chance here. So, strong versus multiple combatants. You can cast that on the Graveguard.
Blood magic!
What do you have? You already start with the Blood Chalice. Yeah, let's just use that. Oh, I have to use it on a unit. So, is this just an activated left click unit? Is not. Oh, I have to use it on a lord. So let's use it on Vlad Von Carstein. Let's see if we cannot regain some Cairn Wraiths. You can go in there. Yeah, they have no chance whatsoever. No chance at all. Let's go ahead and recast that. So you can see here, we can actually raise our units from the dead. Of course, it only works on undeads, I believe. It might actually not. It might actually just be able to replenish every single type of unit. Cast that on the Graveguard again.
We are the new order.
We are indeed the new order. And as Vlad likes to say, I will cover the world in darkness. So let's see if we cannot do that. And that's them eliminated.
Isabella Von Carstein.
Indeed, Isabella, you are of the Carstein bloodline. Let's just have you charge in the back. Do some damage.
Your time has come.
So our vampire hero has taken a little bit of damage. Let's just go ahead and regain her. She is also fighting against... Nope, that was a mistake. You just continue killing the grave guards. She is also fighting against their lord.
Crush the breathers!
So let's go ahead and do that.
We are immortal!
Yeah, unless you get a stake through the heart. I'm actually not sure of the vampire law of... They cannot... I'm not actually sure if Warhammer vampires are allergic to garlic and all that. I know that they cannot stand sunlight, which is actually why every single battle you fight with the vampire count should be a night battle. So that was this battle. We only lost 33 units and basically only fell bats in these, the Vargeist, and then the Black Coats is just one entity, so it just lost some hit points. So yeah, very, very powerful army to begin the game with. Sort of where I think the vampire counts are struggling is sort of the mid-game. Because you can very quickly, due to another faction mechanic that the vampire counts have, you can very quickly just fill up your army with low tier trash. And yeah, let's go ahead and replenish. Because what they can do is they have, of course, recruitment like any other. We are not currently in our own territory, therefore we cannot recruit anything. And they cannot go into encampment stance, meaning that they can never recruit from enemy territory. They can replenish in enemy territory by going into this channeling stance, which also regains their magic. But what they can do is they can raise dead. And we just completed this quest. So they can raise dead. And here it shows that there are, this is how many numbers of unit is available to raise from in this province. And it works in a way that the more units you kill in a province and the higher tier units you kill in a province, these numbers will go up. So you can see here, for instance, I can recruit 2 out of 3 zombies. They will slowly regain over time. This says that there's a 35% chance for a zombie becoming available to recruit next turn, but the more units you kill and the higher tier units you kill, you will gain access to be able to raise higher tier units from the vampire counts roster. So it's very easy to just fill up your army, which I will definitely do. Yeah, let's just go ahead and recruit all of this, and then we get a lot of lore pop-ups because we have just recruited skeleton warriors. We have also recruited zombies. And again, as I stated also in the Karl Franz Let's Play, this is the lore mod. Very, very extensive work that they have done and an awesome job. So we can build some stuff here. I may just go for, yeah, let's get some growth going. So one thing that's very important to be aware of when playing the vampire counts is that as long as you are within territories where there are vampire corruption, you are fine. But if I were to move my army into this region here, I would actually begin suffering attrition on this army. And I think the reason they've done it this way, because I'm pretty sure that the vampire counts are the only faction that suffers from attrition when not in its own kind of corruption. And I think the reason why they did it is to sort of represent the whole daylight, darkness, daylight, night time of vampires not being able to be out in the sunlight. And that is represented with them being in areas where there's no vampiric corruption. So always, well, depending on how far you have to move, you might want to consider going for these skills here, where they can spread corruption, and then sending heroes out in front of your army to make sure that you have at least some corruption in that area. before moving your armies into it. So again, the Shadow Law is a very good Law of Magic. I usually always go for this Pendulum because it can deal so much damage. And Isabella has gained a level also. I will definitely go for the Hunger. That will just allow her to regenerate whenever she's in melee, and as long as she doesn't have her leadership broken, she can just regenerate hit points. And then let's go for, yeah, let's start working down her Law of Vampire skills. We definitely want to get some of these skills here on her. Forgotten Runes, spell resistance to the entire army. And Vlad has gained a level. Unquiet Graves, casualty replenishment rate plus 15. Diviner, he can gain more. Yeah, so as I also said in my Carl Franz Let's Play, I usually always go for the blue line first. The Vampire Counts is one of those factions where I don't, because the Hunger is such an important skill to get early. Just have them regenerate while they're in battle. And I think I will also go for this just to maybe see if we cannot get some magic items going very soon, because getting any kind of magic items with ward save on your vampire heroes and also on Isabella is just very, very good. She of course has her own unique items, and she starts with this Blood Chalice here, which is a very powerful item to begin with, because basically we have unlimited Winds of Magic due to Locus of the Winds. And then this one she can also use to heal herself or other lords and heroes. And then of course she has a 10% ward save from the start.
Unstoppable.
Vlad Von Carstein also has some very powerful magical items. And again, these are buffed and changed and reworked due to mods in the mod pack. But as always, I will leave a link in the video description to the mod list I'm using on the Steam Workshop. So I think, yeah, we can go a little over and then take this settlement. So the Vampire Counts is, at least in the beginning, a faction I can be a bit more aggressive with than I usually am with, especially the Empire. So let's just go ahead and get this battle loaded up. And this should be, this is no problem at all to deal with this army. Come on, there we are. Yeah, again, the entire army has Vanguard deployment. Let's just have you go here. We can have you guys go over here. And then the rest of these can be in the forest, sort of hidden. Start deployment, start the battle. Send in our 100% expendable troops first. No reason why we shouldn't. Let's go ahead and just... Yeah, you can suicide your vampire, your fell bats on me. I am perfectly fine with that. So let's just go ahead and reform you like this. You can go like this. You can send out Blood Knights towards those skeletal archers. You can go and kill those. Shouldn't be any problem. You can kill them. You can kill them. And you can attack this. Skeletons fighting skeletons. Spearmen versus archers. Yeah, you are not gonna be able to stand a chance. And these are dead. The fell bats are dead so quickly. Actually, you can go and go and attack those archers. So yeah, this has a buff. It gets better and better the more units are killed nearby it. Not actually sure the range, how far out. You cannot see the range of this ability. Kill them. We don't really need to send in our good units. We should be able to just deal with that with our beasts and of course our cavalry. Can we pull you out a bit? Can we get you to move a bit away from here? I love can raids. They are such an awesome unit. These ghosts with their magical scythe just tearing through. There's a skeleton without a head there. But still he fights on. That's the power of undead for you. And this has made short work of these archers. Not the best combat unit there is, but it can get the job done. We must have blood. You won't get any blood fighting undeads. You can go ahead and fight these.
Vlad Von Carstein.
Should we? We should. Yeah, let's just go ahead and... Yeah, you have done good. You have done good. I will allow you to heal a bit. Zombies, I will not heal. I will never, ever heal zombies. They are trash beneath me. They are not worth a single wince of magic. But skeletons, I will heal. I like skeletons. Zombies can fuck off. They are great. Meat shield, as it says. Not actually sure what meat shield. Yeah, it's not like there's another trait here. For instance, Skaven slaves have it. There are also some peasant units from other factions that have it. That's called expendable. And what that trait does is that if an expendable unit is running away, nearby units don't suffer a leadership penalty, which is something that all units usually do. If you have a unit that runs away, then every single unit near that unit will get a penalty to leadership. So let's just go ahead and take a look at this magic here. I didn't look at how many kills she had before, but she has killed 128 now and basically just wiped this unit out. That pendulum attack, it is so goddamn powerful. That was the battle. Again, we could have brought this way down had I bothered to actually heal my zombies. Those skeletons suffered a few casualties, but yeah, it's okay. They are basically all of them expendable. The Grave Guards, the Cairn Wraiths, and the Blood Knights ain't, but everyone, I don't basically care if they die. Of course not our Lord and Hero, but everyone else, they can die. It's fine with me. So we got the terrifying Mask of E. I think that almost... Yeah, we will definitely occupy this. I think that's the quest for taking this settlement. And we just got another issue, and now we have to defeat a lord belonging to them. So I am pretty sure... We also got some other quests. I am pretty sure that undeads, as a general rule of thumb, actually cause... Undead... Issue is undead does not rout. Yeah, they cause fear. I'm pretty sure that basically all undead, she causes terror. Why do you cause terror? when you don't.
All shall know me and tremble.
I'm not sure why that is, but yeah, they also cause fear. They cause fear. I'm pretty sure that every single undead unit actually causes fear, but they don't cause terror. And the difference is that fear simply just frightens all nearby units. All nearby units is just suffering. Whenever they are close to a unit that has fear, they gain a negative to their leadership, and as it says, it don't stack. And that's a good thing, because then the vampire counts will be able to basically rout every single army whenever they got into combat from having so many units with fear. Terror, however, I am not 100% sure what terror does. Oh yeah, I think that's a chance. I'm not sure how often it gets rolled, but whenever you are in combat with something that has terror, I think there's a chance for you to simply just run away, as it says, for a short time. I'm not 100% sure how often it gets rolled. You can have the spotter's glass, not that it's important, and let's just quickly level you up before ending the episode. What? I wouldn't mind. Actually, no, let's just see, where can you... So this is, every single law of magic has a passive ability that triggers, whenever you are casting a spell, it triggers some sort of an effect. And this one is very powerful, because basically every time I cast a spell, I'm not even sure if it has to be from the law of vampires. So for instance, let's say that she had access to another school of magic besides the law of vampire. There are some lords and special heroes that has a mixture of certain laws together. And I think this might actually just, as it says, triggers when casting a spell. I don't think it needs to be a vampire spell. But this is very good, because it simply just allows every unit on the battlefield of yours. It says affected units, allies, affects allies in range, all, but the effect range is just entire battlefield. It's only for 10 seconds, but still it heals all of your units for 10 seconds whenever you are casting a spell. So the gaze, that is, yeah, that's the magic missile. This is a debuff, no, it's a buff, but I will go for more healing.
Unstoppable.
And for Vlad, now I will begin to work on his blue line. So the Undying Horde, of course, boosts casualty replenishment rate, but this here is also a unique thing to the vampires. I think that the Tomb Kings, and I think also a Vampire Coast, have it. And basically it does, for instance, if this unit of zombies had been wiped out in the battle, there is a chance of that unit just coming back, not dying. So I will definitely be going for that.
Yes.
And we cannot make it up here. We have now secured southern Sylvania, and we will go for growth and construction reduction. What can we build here? Yeah, let's go for some growth. So that's it for the first episode of the Vampire Counts. I hope you guys will be enjoying this series as much as I will. I'm not sure of the release schedule. I think while the Karl Franz campaign is going on, I will keep this to one episode a week, and I think it will be on Wednesday, but I will have figured that out by the time you watch this episode, and the day it gets released is the day that I will release further episodes once a week. So again, thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.